Yo, what's up, Petey? I hope you can hear me. If not, then oh well. Okay, so I'm gonna make some pasta with some sausage and some other vegetables. So I'm gonna just walk you through my entire thought process on making food. Alright, so I had some frozen broccoli, which I put in some water to get it, to not be frozen anymore. I had some tomatoes, onions, garlic. This is a sausage from Das Barbecue that I'm gonna use. Let's see, for spices, gonna get salt, black pepper, red pepper, and then I'm gonna use this typical Italian seasoning. And then let's see. I'm trying to think if anything else would go good with it. Um, no, I think that should be fine. Okay. And maybe some lime juice. So the reason why I think, say, maybe lime juice, as you notice, there's nothing really kind of acidic and fresh in here. Like, actually, tomato is here, so forget about lime juice. Okay, I'm gonna use tomato. And I'm gonna bring out my pasta. So to cook pasta, it's actually very straightforward. What you wanna do is first, let's see. I'm gonna fill up the water, and you don't want to fill up too much because, as you'll see later, we're gonna use this to create our pasta sauce. And the less water there is, the more starchy that remaining water will be. So in this, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the heat high and wait for it to get a rolling boil. You'll see what I mean by that when it gets there. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll salt this water. So the reason why I'm salting so hard is because the pasta has no flavor. And we're not gonna season the pasta at all. So I want this water to be very salty so the pasta gets salty as well. And we'll not be adding much salt. Like I won't be adding much salt to the whole dish. So you'll see that this actually comes through. And then also I forgot about olive oil. We'll be using olive oil to make the sauce. And then you'll see what I mean by that. Alright, so I'm gonna wait for this to get into a rolling boil. And then in that time, let me start chopping this up. So what I'm also gonna do is have a bowl with all my ingredients that I'm gonna put in here. So now I want to cut the broccoli smaller because I want to make the pasta bite size, Like I don't want big chunks in there. So I'm going to cut everything small. So the broccoli, you just want to separate these stems. So you see here, I'm going to cut at the base and then I already have small chunks. I'm going to get rid of these. Get rid of these. Let's chop it up a little bit. Boom. More. Some more. And that is my broccoli done. And these florets, I sometimes save them for juice, like if I'm more making a smoothie or something. But fuck it. Alright, so the way to chop an onion, I want to chop an onion small too. So you keep the root of it like intact, And then what you want to do is make these small incisions like this on the side from the root. Okay? Alright. And now what we're going to do is make a slice in the middle and a slice at the top while holding it like a tennis ball, like tight. So now what I've done is made all the incisions needed for the chop. So for the chopping, I'm going to just come from the top and bam, boom, done. Let's go. And then this part, just move it over, slide a little bit, cut, slide a little bit, cut. And now I have a chopped onion. Voila. So this goes here because I'm throwing these together because what I'm going to do is, since they're both kind of hard vegetables and I need a little like sauteing, I'm going to throw them in together. I actually wouldn't use onion regularly in pasta, but I had it around, so fuck it. Garlic is very essential. So this is straight up fresh garlic. But honestly, usually I buy the minced stuff. The way to chop garlic is you keep it on the head, boom, smash, and then you can peel it and it comes right out. So I'm gonna peel all these garlic. And I'll keep the garlic to the side because garlic needs to be added in at the right time. Otherwise it gets a little, burnt and not good. Okay. And now I'm going to do is chop up the garlic into small pieces. Again, going with my small piece idea. But again, that's just because like that's how I want the pasta to be. There's no there's nothing saying that you have to cut it small or minced it. And the way to chop garlic is you put the tip here, and then you just come down with it like this. Keep the tip on the board and just slide down. Okay? If you're doing too much work, then you're cutting wrong. Just remember that. That's for anything in cooking and cutting, chopping. You need to find the way to do it. Okay, cool. And now finally, in the meantime, my water has boiled. And this is what I mean by a rolling boil. It's rolling, And this is very important so the pasta doesn't get stick, like to each other. You don't need to add oil, sometimes people do, but it's not really necessary. I'll throw the pasta in here. And this is fusilli. And the easiest way to cook pasta is just look at the back. So it says boil 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm going to do it just a bit less because the sauce that we're going to make the pasta will end up cooking in it. So you get that really nice, al dente, which means tough to the bite texture. So that's 9 minutes. It's going to be gone. And that's perfect because our sauce will be ready by the time the pasta is done. So now cutting the tomato. Let's see. I also want to chop the tomato quite small. So let me do that too. I'm going to cut this across. my tomato is done, I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. And the tomato I'm gonna keep separate too, so you know it doesn't, because it goes in very differently. And the tomato also releases a lot of water, so it's very water filled, you know, fruit actually. So when you're putting it in things, just be mindful of that. So like in this case, how it's gonna affect my pasta is that I'm gonna probably put a little less pasta water in here than I usually would have in the sauce. Okay, cool. So now is the time to make the sauce and get all of this stuff ready. Okay, back to, so now the sauce. So I'm gonna turn the heat on to a medium-high heat. And actually, kind of forgot to chop up the sausage. So, this is very simply. I'm just gonna make it chunks, nothing crazy. You know, it's not much sausage. I'm not going in for a lot. And all I want is just, you know, a little. Mostly want this to be a vegetable pasta. Okay, so first I'm gonna put olive oil. So olive oil. Put in a generous amount. Enough to coat the pasta and all the veggies. Okay. It's on medium-high heat. So I'm gonna wait till the oil gets a little thing. And even before that, so usually this is the difference between Italian cooking and like Asian cooking. Italian cooking, you want to do things at a slower pace. So I'm gonna start this off cold because I don't really need that much heat. I'm just gonna let this heat up in it. In Asian cooking, you want it to be like kind of high because you want these to like wilt down. You want to create like a medley with all of your stuff rather than like have them stand out on their own. So I'm gonna put this here. And this is another important thing of cooking. Always season everything. So in this case, I'm gonna throw in a little salt and a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of Italian seasoning. So I'm doing this now, and I'll do this again later. This will bring up, this will really, you know, make this flavorful as F. You know, since this is slow cooking, I'm gonna throw the garlic in right now too. I would sometimes save this for later if I was cooking fast, because you don't want the garlic to burn. But in this case, this is good. And actually, I want to throw the sausage in here too, so they can get nice and hot. Let's just get it a little heated up. It's still not too hot. This is the stupid thing about electric stove versus gas. And then I'm also gonna season with a little red chili. To really kind of like up the flavor a little bit. So pasta is actually almost done. So I'll show you what I do with the pasta real quick. Okay. So the pasta is almost finished. So what I'm gonna do is, remember the pasta water I was talking about? This is what I mean. So I want to collect that pasta water. So I'm gonna put that bowl here. Get out the strainer. Put the strainer over it. Get my done pasta. Boiling hot. And strain it over. So now, now it's sticking. Give you one stick. Take this shit out. Shout out. Good. Okay. And now we have all this pasta water. You'll see how this comes in handy. Now the pasta is done. I'm gonna come back to our spot here. Throw in the pasta. We'll throw in the tomatoes. Oh damn, this looks so good. Smells good too. So you see right now what happens is like the pasta, it's coated with oil, so it's kind of just like oily pasta. What we want to do is like make it into like a saucy pasta. And this is where adjustments are. So, you know, the olive oil that I put in earlier looked to be enough actually. Maybe a little more. Okay, so first I'm going to season this real quick. So I'm going to get some black pepper, a little salt, just a little bit, some red chili powder, I'm going to put in some more Italian seasoning. Toss this around real quick. And now in this little pool, I want to make a little well in it. I'm going to pour a little bit more olive oil. And now I'll put in some of that pasta water. And I'm going to keep it by my side so I can use it to sauce it up. And now we actually got a sauce going in this. So it's still like olive oil, but there's a sauce. And that's it. I'm going to put it for a couple more minutes and then be done. That's how you make pasta. But the pasta sauce is the key part, okay? Oh, sorry, pasta water. Alright, peace.